These are the dark holes I fell into this week. We got the hottest dwarf OF creators. I went through, I found top dogs in the field, okay? And similar to the disabled OF, we went and found the best ones we could get you. Oh, thank you. We're getting a little water brought in here. Something I gotta mention. I am like 60% drunk. That is something that's got to factor into this episode of the pod because I was doing a podcast right before this. I was doing Shannon and Figs. The thing is, they have a monthly thing they do where you do a shot of White Claw. White Claw. So today we have the Celsiuses here. They were brought just in case. But White Claw might be the backbone of this one. This is a special drunk episode. We haven't done a drunk one yet. Maybe we start doing more of them. I don't know. But I had to do a shot of White Claw every minute for an hour, which equals out to about 4 White Claws. So I've ingested about 4 White Claws. Going into it, I have 2 ready to go. We have, if you guys can see on the table here, we have a couple shots that are kind of hanging around that were left over poured from the previous ep. So yeah, we got the hottest OF creators who are also dwarfs. And then we got, all of Hawaii hates one white woman. I don't know if you guys saw this. This was popping off on TikTok. They're all very upset at this one white woman. You know what? I've always got the best take. I got the best take over here, okay? And then we got a write-in about a lesbian fantasy ruined someone's marriage, and it goes into the realm of incest. That's a little spicy tag for you. All today on Dark Holes. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm a little drunk. I got some water here. We're going to try and sober it, but we're trying to keep the balance good. We're going to sober it, but only to the point of where the alcohol is still hitting at peak levels, all right? We want the alcohol to be as powerful as the White Claw. Should we dare cross them up? What happens if you mix a wild berry Celsius with a watermelon White Claw? What happens? Jorge, what do you think?
I think you unlock the secrets to every dark hole in the universe.
There's only one way to find out, dude. Let's go. We're doing double duty over here. I want everyone at home to know I'm not normally this self-destructive. I went on to this podcast this afternoon. They always drink on the thing is, and I normally don't drink or I'll have a sip of a drink or something. So when Shannon, the host of the thing is, messaged me and was like, hey, are you going to drink? I was like, yeah, I'll drink. I didn't realize it was a drinking thing. And so if I go on the pod, I'm going to accept the rules of the pod. And I got much drunker than I thought I would. But that's just because I commit. I commit, guys. Sometimes you need to fucking commit. So the Wildberry Celsius, the red dye, anti-RFK dye, dude. You better enjoy these wild berries while they're still on the shelves. Because once RFK gets into office, he'll rip the wild berry right out of your goddamn hands, dude. You'll have a wild berry in your hand and you'll feel a shock, an electric shock, as he shoots down from the sky and slams into the ground. The concrete breaks up and he'll rip it out of your hand. And then he'll take his cock out and slap you in the face. And be like, oh, and he'll be like, you should know better. And you'll be like, I know RFK. I know I should know better. And he'll be like, this is your one warning. This is your one warning. He'll go, if I catch you with a fucking wild berry Celsius again, I will beat you to death on the sidewalk. I got to enjoy these while they're still fucking fresh in my face. Okay, and then we're also going to crack. Oh, that's got a little bit of a louder crack. The watermelon White Claw. Crossing them up. Jorge, the enabler, is definitely enabling some bad. Yeah, he's nodding in there.
I'm being a producer.
He's being a producer. He likes to produce. Okay, hold on. This fucking dropped down. Yeah, there we go. There we go. The mic dropped down lower than I want it to drop. Okay, and then we're going to take a little bit of watermelon Celsius. I want everyone to know that I'm pretty sure this was outlawed. This kind of combination, White Claw Celsius, has never been done before. This is similar to the original Four Loko. Four Loko was originally, it was an energy drink and booze together, right? If I'm not wrong. That's what it was, right? Yeah. And then they had to change the mixture. They had to change the formula. They had to change the recipe because it was making people go absolutely insane. People were fighting their friends. They were punching their grandmas. They were robbing banks, all straight off of the Four Loko. So this is like, I would say, a pure version. This is the Celsius, a pure drink. The White Claw, not really pure, but I guess a little bit cleaner than whatever they're probably putting in there. Actually, it's all grain alcohol at the end of the day. So we might get like, maybe we get this could be if Four Loko is, say, the dark energy, it's the dark side, we could be, this is the Jedi mix that we're about to have. This is the Jedi drink that we're slurping back here. Very special. All right, let's fucking stop dicking around. Hottest dwarfs with OnlyFans, guys. Okay, we're starting off here strong. We got Power Midget. Power Midget, she is really popular on the interwebs. She's from England, I believe. She's got some red hair. Jorge, can you bring her up for me real quick? Now, here's the thing. Now, this list, it's never really a definitive top. I think it's like top 7 we're working with right now. Okay, some of that... Okay, I'm just going to let our editor know in post. You got to blur some of that out. Those pubes that are on the screen, blur out the pubes, please. Blur out a lot of this. A lot of this has got to get blurred, okay? Just throw some blur on the screen there. But she's at the beginning of the list. Now, Power Midget, I would say she's quite hot. She's hot. She's got that split hair, half black, half red, a very Halloween feel kind of going on her scalp. But she's 4'8". And I looked it up. I looked up what qualifies to be a midget or dwarf. I actually looked up both. I was like, what's the legal limit for dwarf? And it was 4'10". And then I looked up what's the legal limit for midget. I didn't know if they were different things. It's both 4'10". So they're just different terms for the same type of person. Oh, holy shit. We're unleashing on you guys. So the she's 4'8". She's basically like the Yao Ming of dwarfs is what's going on. And she also doesn't have like any of the features. Like, of course, we know the dwarf features. They have like a certain kind of head, a certain kind of body, certain kind of hands. They have the dwarf features, right? She doesn't have any of that. She just is genetically small. It doesn't seem like she has some sort of a thing that makes her a dwarf. She's not like a Tyrion Lannister. She just is a tiny person overall. My friend's mom is a very tiny person in the similar way, where she's so small that she has stools all around her house. Like, Power Midget, I know your house is littered with stools. You got stools everywhere. You got stools in the bathroom, stools in the kitchen, and the top drawers, those aren't getting used. Drawers, cabinets. My friend's mom, she has like tape on the counter to let people know that if they come over, like if her kids come over and they're helping her with like groceries, you can't put stuff behind the tape because she can't reach past the tape. And what my friend said he would do when he was young, when he was a teenager, and his mom pissed him off, is he would put shit behind the tape to like, so she would be like trying to reach for it, and she would have to go into the closet and grab her little grabby claw and then grab it, because you know, if you're small, you got one of those long reachy guys that grabs, and you get like a premium version, maybe like a $50-$60 version that doesn't break a lot and can grab heavier things, has better tensile strength, is made out of like steel, not aluminum, and you can pick more shit up with that. That's got to be good for your shoulders. If you're short, you got to have strong shoulders because you're like reaching and picking up. You're like full extension, picking up a lot. Like this motion, you can't use your core to lift stuff up. You can't bend your elbow and kind of push up with like this locked position, the weight of your body. You have to reach out and then fully hinge off the shoulder and lift something up. That's got to make you strong as fuck in your shoulders, dude. But I do... Like, even though that I'm saying this lady is like the Yao Ming of dwarfs, I understand that you have the same gripes that a lot of little people have. Like, I bet going on rides, going to an amusement park isn't your favorite day. It must not be super fun to be a fully grown person who can buy a gun and vote and drink and not be able to go on a roller coaster. You don't think about that limitations. There's a certain sect of the population that has all the rights that you have. Like I said, they can vote. They can get a prostitute. They can get a gun. They can get convicted of manslaughter and sent to a maximum security prison. They don't go to juvie or anything like that. But they still can't ride a roller coaster. That is a very specific thing that is cut off from a certain part of the population. There's also two ends of that spectrum. The whole ride the roller coaster thing is like a parabola. You have like one side of the population that's too small. They'll never get on the roller coaster. And then you go through the parabola, then you have this sort of sweet spot of all the people that are on the roller coaster. We're all having a good time. And then you go back down, you go too big to get on the roller coaster. I've been on a coaster before where they sit in a person who's probably like, I want to say 340, and they push them into it. You know when someone sits on a roller coaster and then they need the person who works at the roller coaster to come push the whatever that bar is down into them because they're like, it needs to be secure. We can't have you slip out. Like the fat in your body is very malleable. We need to push it down till it gets to the organs. That's where it needs to be. And sometimes we need to get a second guy to come jump on the other side, and we need those 2 extra clicks where it goes click, click, and then we can send you. When I'm on the roller coaster and then they seat that guy, I get uncomfortable because what I'm thinking is like, okay, so they say the roller coaster can handle this amount of force or this amount of that, or they go, you have to be like under 270 pounds to ride the roller coaster, and then some guy comes walking up. And they go, how much do you weigh? And he goes, 268. And they go, you're good. But in reality, he's 315. Because he wants to ride the roller coaster. He doesn't care. He's not thinking about the possible risks. And then we hit that corner, and the force of us hitting the corner, that gyroscopic force sends the roller coaster off its heels. And then we go tumbling down to the world and we die. Death by roller coaster at a carnival, one of the worst ways to die. Because you're stuck, you can't get out, you can't move, you can't do anything. And I don't think anyone has sympathy for people who die on roller coasters because it's an elective thing. And it's also something you're doing where it's like, yeah, you should kind of die. It's like when you die skydiving. Like, it's like, yeah, you were kind of testing death the entire time you were enjoying this thing. Is it exhilarating? Is it fun? Do kids go on it? Yeah, but when you die on it, you go, yeah, some people die on those. That's part of the experience. But I guess what I was saying about the power midgets, I'm sorry that I said that to you. You were like, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. You definitely are the most able-bodied of the people on the list. So you're at the beginning of the list. You're kind of just sneaking in the dwarf category. Like if you're someone who is like really fetishizing dwarfs, if you're looking at this list and you're like, I really like the dwarf qualities and that's what gets me off, and you saw Power Midget, which is her name on Instagram is Power Midget. So if you get upset at me saying midget, I'm quoting the name. Then this chick might not do it for you, you know? Also, in the person who gets like pushed into the roller coaster, you think when it hits like the loop-de-loop, like if you're a big dude, you shouldn't be on the loop-de-loop because there's a chance it gets stuck upside down and then that bar just gives out and you come tumbling down. And when the G-forces on the loop might just like push down on your organs, like all your weight is just condensing your organs really hard. I don't think that's good for you. But that's the first one. The first one is Power Midget. Then we're going to go to Just Jess, okay? Just Jess, I think Just Jess has probably the biggest bolt-ons you can put on someone that size. If you're really tiny, you already got a low center of gravity, so I'm not really sure how gravity works or what the math on that is at all, but I know that there's less material to work with when you're putting the boobs in there, right? You got like less skin to pull over the boobs. Also, that's something I think about a lot with those chicks who are like I don't know if I think about it a lot, but I definitely think about it sometimes. Every time you see those chicks that have like the oversized implants, they need to go to like Czechoslovakia or something. You know, Czechoslovakia is not a country anymore, but like Czech Republic, they need to go to the Czech Republic to get these implants put in so that their boobs, like it's the only type of doctor that will put an implant in that big because they won't legally do it in the United States. Every time I see those, I'm like, where does the skin come from? Because there needs to be enough skin to pull over those things. Yeah, Jorge, where are you getting the skin?
I'm very confused about this now too. Like I've never thought about it, but logistically, physically, this has to come from somewhere.
It has to come from somewhere, and there's not skin. There's not enough skin in that area. Or they're pulling skin off of other areas of your body and then grafting it on. Is the skin on there coming from someone who's donating skin? Like, is that someone who's like, oh yeah, I give or when I die, like I'm an organ donor, you can take my skin and give it to a burn victim. But little do they know it's going to a chick who needs supersized implants. I would be pretty pissed off if I was an organ donor and my skin got donated to someone for something as frivolous as that. I should be able to pick where my organs go, I feel like. That's something I want control over. Like, I don't want my organs going in like a dork, you know? Like, if I donate my liver, I want it to go to someone who's going to use it. Like, don't go to someone. That's a hard break, though, because usually if you need like a liver transplant, it's probably because you're boozing or destroying your liver. So hopefully this is like the turning point in your life where you stop abusing the liver. But I got a strong liver. My liver is strong. I know for a fact my liver is strong just based on the way I live and how I've been able to navigate the world and how much abuse I put on a regular basis. I mean, we're drinking on this podcast right now. Let's do this combo, the Celsius. We're going to drink them together, Celsius and watermelon White Claw. Oh my God. I hope that a doctor is watching this episode. But yeah, I want to be able to pick where my organs go. Okay, we're going to move on. Next one on the list. Oh, the picture didn't go through. Is Baby Marie. Hold on. Let me see if I can add this picture really quick. And then I want you to bring the picture up, Jorge.
Do you want to bring one up of Just Jess?
No. They'll do that in post. Post. Thank you, buddy. You got a bit of an echo, just so you know. I don't know if you know if you like when you talk, I hear an echo. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there we go. We're adding this right now. Can you bring this one up? Marie Baby. So what I find unique about this lady is that you don't normally get a lot of meat packed on to a lady of this stature. That's just not a regular thing that happens. Usually they're like you wouldn't think there's that much to move around. There we go, Jorge. Yeah. Like a lot of meat on this. When you look at this picture, you wouldn't think that she's that tiny. You would just think she's got really long hair. Like you would have to pull back. It's one of those situations where you're like, let's put a Coke can next to her so we can have something there for perspective, so we can really see how big she is. But she's also on the list. I couldn't get too much info on her because her Instagram was separate from any of her OF stuff. But it is Marie Baby on OF. Let's move right along to Jordana James. So Jordana James, she's in crazy shape, and she gives you a little bit of a different flavor when you're looking at the Dwarf OF creators. Everyone here is like really trying to be sexy, really selling it in a certain vibe, and she goes, hey, I'm going to be the tomboy. I'm going to be the one who's like, oh, I got the backwards hat on. She's got like the kind of the curly hair. She's got crazy abs, the fitness, which when you think about like, oh, I don't have enough energy to go to the gym. This chick's getting in the gym, dude. She can't run comfortably. It's hard for her to reach up and get the weights. The light weights are on the top shelf, dude. For her to get the 5-pounders, like I don't think she's lifting 30, 40 pounders. She's got to reach up there and like basically above her head to pull down those 5-pound little weights and start lifting with them. She can't even get the plates that she needs. She needs someone to help her with the plates, and she's able to stay in top physical condition where she has a strong core. I mean, most of her body is core, so I think it probably is taking on more weight than the rest of us, but she still has a strong, visible core. Her diet's in check, you know? So what is your excuse? That's another thing with like the shopping. One thing I recently thought about, well, not recently, like while I was making this list, was when dwarves are shopping, do they like all the good stuff's on the mid-tier shelf? They purposely, grocery stores purposely put the most tempting shit in the middle shelf. So when you're walking by, you see it because no one's really looking up or looking down. That takes a little bit of extra effort, and none of us are really putting in that effort. So she never sees the like top tier shit. And if she wants that top tier shit, she's got to bust out the grabby guy, the stainless steel formed grabby guy to grab that shit off of there, unless she has someone else to come help her with her groceries. That's such a pain in the ass, dude. But it might also attribute to why she's in such good shape. There you go. Because if you never see the temptation of the yummy snacks, if all the snacks she sees are the shittiest snacks, she's like, oh yeah, it's easy to eat a carrot. She goes into the veggie section. She gets hit with the misters. It feels like she's in the rainforest for her. That's what that kind of experience is like. All right, let's keep it going. Victoria Papel. This chick, I knew nothing about. And this goes to show how many people exist that are like super famous in the world that you don't even fucking know. Every now and again, a celebrity will come across my path and I go, who the fuck is that? This chick has 2.5 million followers. She is a Brazilian dwarf, big on the OF. I don't know if she does full nude stuff on her OF. I didn't go and investigate. But she's huge. Big following. She's got tight little bod, tight little core. The dwarf features that we're looking for. If you want like something that's outside of the box, going to Brazilian style, they make them in all sizes and all types, all flavors. Okay, we're going to move on to our next guy. Meg Banks. Meg Banks, I've met in person. Meg Banks, top earner on OnlyFans. Let's say that again. All the people you can think about on OnlyFans. Karina Kampf. She makes a ton of money on OnlyFans. She showed her OnlyFans earnings. She's making somewhere between $800K and a million a month. Then you have Bad Baby. Bad Baby made something like $60 million in a year or something like that. You got, I don't know, who else is on OnlyFans? Who was that chick who was on the Disney Channel? And then that Bella Thorne. All these people. You got some of the top porn stars of all time. You got, Angela White, Annabella Danger, all these people. Think of all the greats you know. You've never even heard of Meg Banks. She is the top earner on OnlyFans. That is the kind of career you want. You want a career where you're making so much money. You're killing it in the game. And then when people say your name, they go, who? That is, you're living in cash. You're also not famous enough for people to bug you. You can still go to the grocery store. I'm sure people ask her for pictures and shit all the time, but that is pretty wild stats, dude. Also, another stacked dwarf, which I didn't know was a thing, that they could put so much meat on such a tiny frame, man. So much meat, little frame. God was really like I don't know, was he out of parts or was he like feeling gluttonous? Like he's like, I want to bump this one up. And like, well, we don't have enough parts to bump it up. And they're like, well, I want to bump it up anyways. I'm going to bump it up. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's keep moving down this. Valentina Midget XO. This is another Brazilian model. You've probably seen her. She's out there a lot. A lot of the content on her main page was with this one really buff dude. And I was like, is that the guy who's like smashing her out? He was like buff where he's like bodybuilder buff, where he's like awkward buff, where he can't like, you know, like some bodybuilders where if you put like a piece of paper in the middle of their back, they wouldn't be able to reach it. Like that's the kind of buff he is. And he's smashing this tiny lady. The proportions must be crazy on that. And what I'd be worried about is like, aren't you worried about like crushing her? Like if you roll over in the middle of the night, you're sleeping next to her and your arm goes over top of her, there's a chance she could suffocate. She have to like bite you to get out like a chipmunk that's panicking. Yeah, that's a stress that I don't have to worry about in my day-to-day, thankfully. All right. Then our last one, Erica Calabrese. Let's bring up Erica Calabrese. Erica Calabrese was the previous top earner on OnlyFans. So there is some sort of correlation between being a dwarf, little person, midget, whatever classification that you prefer to use on OnlyFans. Yeah, geez Louise, dude. Like you see why. She's got like the honkos are crazy. The body is crazy. She's very cute, man. But there is some sort of correlation between being a dwarf and being on OnlyFans and making a ton of money. What that correlation is, I think it's just like limited market. Like, I think the dwarf dudes might be as ravenous as the foot dudes, but there's just less to consume. Like, foot guys will do crazy shit to get the foot shit they need. I see videos all the time of some guy walking up to a random lady in the street and he's like, hey, can I buy your socks off of you right now? And he'll offer her about like $50. But that's because, no, I shouldn't say every woman, but like what I would say 95% of women have feet. What would you say? 95% of women have feet? Yeah. 5% of chicks probably don't have feet. Like, there is a population of chicks without feet, but it's definitely not the majority. There's so many people have feet. Even some dudes have feet so nice they could pass as lady feet. So the foot market is oversaturated with people just because simply people have feet. Now, if you have a section of the population that is as ravenous for dwarves as the foot guys, but they just can't get their stuff because it's what's that thing? It's a scarcity. There's scarcity in the market. There isn't enough dwarf content to go around. Then these guys are going to pay top dollar all the time to the few, because it's like you have the dwarf ladies, and then you have even few of them that are putting OF content out there, and even few of them that are putting themselves out there, because I bet if you're a dwarf, you might be a little insecure and stuff. Dudes are the foot guys are accidentally stealing up foot content. There's chicks who go out of the way to not post their feet because they know that shit is worth fucking hard cash. So that could be why these chicks are racking in the cash. And this Erica Calabrese is kind of the Beyonce of the dwarfs, I would say. Like, she's kind of been holding it down for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if the next chick that comes along, who's the top chick, is a dwarf that on OnlyFans, and then we can start to investigate. If we get 3 in a row, top earners dwarfs on OnlyFans, then we need to start to look into the data on that. Me personally, never jerked off to a dwarf, never been interested in dwarf stuff, never watched any type of midget porn. Because it just, I don't know, there's nothing about it that titillates me. So, but the dwarf people, if you're watching this and you're a dwarf porn consumer, reach out to the pod. Reach out to me on Instagram. Reach out. If you go, I think maybe we can open up the Patreon to like communication on the Discord, not the Discord, but just within the Patreon thing of like you can talk in the chat and all that kind of stuff for free. Because I never said that was a thing you get if you subscribe. That's not a private thing. But anyways, all I'm saying is I just want to hear from you. I want to hear from the dwarf lovers as to why they love dwarf porn. Why do you love dwarf porn? Why do you love dwarf OnlyFans? Because apparently people are giving them a lot of money. And I'm just curious as to what is the driving force behind it. Anyways, guys, welcome to Dark Holes with Chaderani. We're 27 minutes in. That's the longest first section we've ever done. God damn, we're fucking deep in it, guys. Let's do we have a shot of White Claw here. That's left over from the previous pod, if you guys have been listening all the way through this. Jorge, how'd you feel about that first section? Did I seem drunk?
I wouldn't say drunk, no.
You wouldn't say drunk?
No.
But like a little intoxicated, I can
Definitely,
see.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely more bar talk than podcast.
Okay. More bar talk than podcast, okay. What does that mean?
I feel like normally you're more regimented with how you do the show, but this felt more conversational.
Okay, cool. I would agree. 100% would agree. I'm definitely I feel like I'm giving you more of my thoughts, more of my like, oh, you know what about this? And then it's a one-sided conversation, so no one can interrupt me. What's going on with me, guys? Of course, we got the Patreon. Go check us out on Patreon. We're growing every fucking day, dude. I'm really pumped with the Patreon. It's good. We got good content over there. If you subscribe to the Patreon, If you subscribe to the Patreon, you get an extra episode every week. You also get access to the Discord. You get the ability to write in, and then you also get ad-free episodes. Not too shabby. What we got on the Patreon this week is we got Xing Ming, we got Shotgun Shit, and then we have a write-in. Oh fuck, I forgot to put in the write-in. What is the write-in? I think it was hold on, let me look at this real quick. Let me look at this. I know this guy. Oh, yeah. It was a dude that unknowingly slept with a hooker and got paid for it. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Yeah. Okay. Also, guys, follow me, you fucking idiots. Follow the pod. If you're listening to the pod, you haven't hit the follow button yet, hit the follow button. It costs you nothing. And if you're enjoying the pod, why not? Why not follow the pod? You come and you listen every week and you haven't hit the follow button? Follow the pod. We appreciate it. 5-star review of the week, guys. Remember, if you want your 5-star review read out on the podcast, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. So this 5-star review comes in and says, Dark Holes with Chaturanga unlocked my root chakra and allowed me to fart silently next to my sleeping partner. Before listening to this podcast, my vibrating farts would shake my partner out of their slumber. And this was becoming a serious issue in my relationship. Dark Holes with Chaturanga has helped me maintain a happy, healthy marriage. Look at what we're doing out here, guys. We're really helping the people out. We're keeping you people together here at Dark Holes with Chaturanga. Is that the intention? No. I have no intentions with this podcast. Well, I guess my only intention is to be entertaining. So if I'm not even completing that, then it's a complete failure. But outside of that, I've been slacking on my Spanish big time. That's another thing that's going on. I think I'm like 13 days no Duolingo. I lost my streak. I had a 200-something day streak. But I don't know, life's getting too busy right now. But I will get back on the Spanish. My lady is Mexican. She's speaking Spanish to me. So I gotta fucking crank up that Spanish, man. I gotta crank it up. I gotta be able to fucking hablas español con mi esposa. That means wife. I know, novia. That means girlfriend, right? Yeah, I'm fucking killing it, dude. I'm the best. Deadlock. I'm slightly better. I'm still kind of shit. I'm playing stupid is what's going on when I play Deadlock. I'm playing too aggressive and I'm not making the smart choices that I need to in the game space in order to, not die and not be a shitty player. The squat and deadlift goal. So I squatted the most I've ever squatted. We did 235, 5 sets of 5. So that means we're up to 245. And deadlift was 385, 5 sets of 5. So my deadlift is up to 395 now. That that's what we're doing next week or this week. It'll be later this week. And then squat will be up to 245 later this week. And so our goals for the year were 405 for deadlift and 250 or 255 for squat, and I think we're definitely gonna hit that. I benched one day, and it my shoulder was kind of jacked up, and so I wasn't really feeling too comfortable with the benching. Like the next day, my shoulder definitely hurt. So I've been doing pull-ups. I've been doing a lot of core exercise and some other stuff, but I haven't been doing any bench stuff because my shoulder just isn't there right now and I don't want to injure it bad. My back is like fucking fully good right now. I got one of those weightlifting belts and it's made a huge difference in that. So yeah, I'm feeling strong as fuck, dude. Feeling strong as fuck. Looking at next week, actually maybe this week, we'll start the jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. Get back into that. Start fucking throwing some kicks, throwing some punches. Become a fucking deadly dude, you know? Deadly dude. Jorge, you do any combat sports? Nah?
Nah. Not my bag.
I feel like they're big in the gas digital space.
Yeah, I'm the rare one. I don't do drugs and I don't do martial arts.
No drugs, no martial arts. What do you do? What do you like to do?
I just like living, man.
Just like living?
I'm just doing stuff.
Just doing stuff. Yeah. All right. Fuck yeah, dude. I respect the shit out of that. All right. Tour dates. We're in Louisville, Kentucky, November 29th and 30th. We're in Toronto, December 13th and 14th. Oklahoma City, December 26th, 28th. Tulsa, Oklahoma, February 6th and 8th. Lexington, Kentucky, March 6th and 8th. Appleton, Wisconsin, April 24th and 25th. You can get all your tickets at chaturanga.com or through my link in bio. All right. Let's take a... dude, what is this? White Claw? We're slurping back some White Claw. Oh, that's good. Let's get a little fucking Celsius on top of it. Oh. Let's double down the cells. All right. Ugh. Next topic. All of Hawaii hates this one chick. Okay, Jorge, let's go. I need you to play this video called The Scream. We're going to start there, and then we're going to dissect it from there. To give you guys context of what this video is, especially for the audio listeners, there's text on screen says, when you're at the premiere of Moana 2 and the Polynesian culture gets you so overwhelmed that you like outburst or something like that. It's something in that realm. We'll pause it on screen. I'll read out the exact text after. And it's a white chick just like getting enthralled in Polynesian culture and expressing herself in a way that she is doing in a positive way. She's not trying to be shitty. Let's be clear on that. Play this for us. Another loop. Give me another loop of it. Pause. All right, so the text on screen. Fuck, my eyes are so bad. I need glasses. You're just a white gal who got overwhelmed by the power of the Polynesian culture while watching Moana 2. Just that sentence right there, the fact that it was Moana 2 is very funny. But let's break this down a little bit. People are really upset that this white chick was like watching like a Polynesian expression, and then she like fucking was like, I need to make myself heard, because people get upset anytime white people do shit like that. But when I watch this chick's not trying to be a dick. She's not trying to be rude. She's not trying to be mean. She's just fucking yelling out. She's at Moana 2, man. Moana 2 has her shaking. She's feeling good. And also, this is just what, like, I know exactly what genre of chick this is. This is a suburban white girl who has a taste of, like, other culture, and it has really moved her. Because you got to think about, I grew up in the suburbs, guys. I know if you're listening to this and you're a suburbs person, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. When you're in the suburbs, the spice in your life is so limited. You go to Costco, there's strip malls that are beige. Your dad puts you on his lap when he's on the riding mower. If you were a family fancy enough to have a riding mower, we were not. I would like watch my dad use the lawnmower outside, like sitting in the garage that smelt like gasoline. And then you would hold the flashlight for your dad when he's angry and he's working on some shit. This is just like regular middle class, like fucking suburban shit. So when you grow up like that, and then you go to a place where they're banging on drums and they're cooking a pig underground, and there's some leaves and some hot stones, and then they're dancing and everyone's ripped and sexy, and there's a whole bunch of shit going on in the middle of the night and people are twirling fire. Yeah, she is popping off. This is probably the first time ever this white chick has popped off in her life. And I dug into her shit a little bit. She's dating a Polynesian dude, or she's married to a Polynesian dude, and that's why she's at the premiere of Moana 2. I think what you have, when you read that, the text there, it seems like it's trolling. That's what the text seems like it is. But she genuinely wrote that. When you're at the premiere of Moana 2, which she didn't have to lead in there, she is like that. Okay, let me pull this back a little bit. She still has that like inner white chick need to posture. And that's why it said Moana 2 in there. Because she's like, yeah, I'm at Moana 2. Moana 2 is not even out yet. And so she's doing that like white chick keeping up appearances shit. But she really was just trying to have a good time. She was just trying to pop off. She was trying to just be her white self, tasting things for first time. And you've seen this genre of white chick before. You've seen it. You have seen it, dude. It's the same kind of chick who's like, I went to India to go to a yoga retreat, and I felt truly grounded. All of my chakras were unlocked, and then I was able to, for the first time ever, be spiritually unleashed and embrace my true form. It's the same chick, man. This chick who's doing the Moana 2 scream is the same chick as the like a yogi retreat. Or there was this one chick who I banged years ago who only fucked black dudes, but not in a hip hop way, in like a Caribbean way. Like she was a dancer and she only danced to dancehall music. And she didn't even realize how much she was like, it wasn't a conscious thing. It was like a subconscious need to be part of black culture. She took dancehall classes. She became a dancehall dancer. She did African dance. And then she told me about how when she was a kid, she was like, yeah, I played the steel drum, and I laughed in her face. I laughed. I was like, you played the steel drum? And she was like, yeah, I didn't even realize that was like a black thing. And I was like, yeah, that's the steel drum? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Yeah, bro. And I don't know what kicks it off either. I don't know what it is. My thought is it's like unbelievably good dicking down. I think you get, if you're like a white chick and all you've really had is like a very like plain suburban dicking, and then you get a taste of like hard, like crazy dicking from a certain culture. And this isn't only a foreign thing. Like if you're a suburban white chick and then some country white dude comes and he dicks you down for real and takes you mudding in a truck, all of a sudden you're going to be fucking waving a flag, like an American flag and shit, and shooting fireworks off out in your backyard. That's the hardcore dicking will pull you out of that suburban life and make you want to embrace something else, because you're like, I can't ever let this dicking go, dude. I truly think that could be where it comes from. Yeah, and it goes both ways, too. Don't only think that, I know I'm saying suburban white chicks, but it's suburban in general. If you grow up in the suburbs, you're like starved. You're starved for some sort of cultural expression. That's something that the city and the country have. Just as we mentioned the parabola before, each end of the parabola, you have like country, and then you have city. And then in the middle, you have the suburbs. And the suburbs is very safe, very boring, not a lot of shit going on over there. You kind of just like, you can be okay there. But if you're in the country, you have the freedom of no one ever fucking looking at you, and you get to go and do some wild shit. Let's tape a bunch of fireworks together and blow up a garbage can in the middle of a field, and it starts a fire, and me and my buddies fucked off. Let's drive some trucks in the mud, and we ran over a raccoon, and then we're like, fuck, we killed a raccoon. Let's shoot some guns in the backyard. Well, not even a backyard, in some forest, and we're just blasting shit. And you have that freedom of no one looking at you. And then in the city, you have the exposure of the chaos of all these people moving around you constantly, and all these different cultures clashing and bumping into the wrong person and getting into a fist fight and all that shit going on. But in the suburbs, you have none of that shit. You have none of the exposure, none of the risk. So this chick is tasting that shit for the first time, and it's fucking rocking her worldview. So you can't be too upset at her for it. I'm not sad. I'm not Polynesian, so I'm not the one who can make the call on this. But as someone, if I was watching a chick, I'm from the suburbs, so what is my culture? It's fucking anime and video games and fucking The Simpsons and fucking whatever was on daytime TV during the day. I wasn't too much of a Jerry Springer guy, but I liked Maury a lot. I liked Montel. I fucking love Judge Joe Brown. My dad really digged Judge Joe Brown and Judge Judy. He liked to watch someone get shit on. That was a big part of what really made him laugh, was someone being humiliated publicly. So we would watch that on TV. Judge Judy's like a multi-millionaire? Crazy. All right. Okay, let's, I forgot we have some more things to look at. Bring up hosting cookbook club. Can you bring that up for me, Jorge? So if you guys didn't believe me about this chick being like a full-on suburban white chick, I'm going to show you right now. If you've been listening to this whole segment, you've been doubting me. Here it is.
So let's talk about red flags with friendship.
Can you start from the beginning?
The honeymoon phase for me is hosting cookbook club for 20 girls. So let's talk about red flags with friendship. Call it the honeymoon phase. The honeymoon phase for me is the first year of knowing somebody. I find out this person's talking badly about me. If they don't show up to an event for my family.
This is the most, and I know some of you are looking at me right now and you're going like, dude, who's he to talk about our what culture up in the suburbs? I grew up in the suburbs of British Columbia, Canada. I know what the fuck you guys are doing up there. This chick is talking about hosting a cookbook club, and she's talking about red flags with friends. This is suburban white girl shit right here. This is top tier suburban white girl shit. The reason she screamed out was just because she got the taste of feeling something for the first time. A cookbook club with your friends, you don't feel anything. You're filling the void. Moana 2 made this chick explode, man. Moana 2, she saw people dancing at Moana 2, and she went nuts. And in a good way. She's trying to express the culture. She's trying to have some fun. I don't know. I don't know why people got so upset at this girl. I think she's trying to be a nice person. Right in time. Right in time, guys. Let's double down on the... I think we're done on the White Claw. I don't like the feeling of being drunk anymore. Yeah, I'm over it. We're just going Celsius power. Okay, so our first write-in comes in. It says, a lesbian fantasy ruined my marriage. Pretty wild, right? My wife and I have always had a sexually open and very taboo lifestyle, but I never thought she would have crossed the line the way that she did. I got a new job working a second shift at the hospital while she worked at the school, so we barely saw each other. After a while of having a close relationship, she kept bringing up that she had a crush on a girl. She wanted a girlfriend, so I was totally okay with it. She never told me who it was. Okay, fucking blah, 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 blah. Okay, so basically, let me give you the Coles notes on this guy. These two are together. They are fucking, it's good, they're kinky. His wife keeps talking about how she wants to have a lesbian relationship. And she's like, yeah, it's good. Oh my God, I'm so horny for this one girl. He works a ton. He doesn't know who she's fucking. And they open up the relationship. And he goes, oh, it's great. I can fuck people I want to fuck. You'll fuck people you want to fuck. In terms of open relationships, it seems like this is a great setup between the two of them. Mentally, they both seem like people who are tuned for an open relationship. It seems like they don't have any prejudices. They don't have any insecurities. Prejudices? What is it, Jorge? Prejudices?
Prejudices.
Okay, fuck, dude. I'm bad at words. But they didn't have the types of insecurities that would stop them from having an open relationship. And I am a firm believer that everyone should do the type of relationship that they're comfortable with. Don't do a relationship based on what other people think. Do a relationship that you want to do. We can all coexist. But it keeps going. This chick's fucking this other person. After 2 weeks of her having a relationship with this lady, eventually it comes out, I never knew who it was until one day randomly my stuff was in boxes and I was kicked out. Turns out her girlfriend was my little sister. They fell in love and I regretted my jorks to the fantasy. So yeah, the idea of his wife like fucking this other lady behind his back turned him on, and he was like jerking his dick to these things. Turns out that this lady was fucking his little sister. Which, I mean, that's fucked that she did that. But you personally can't feel bad. Like, of course you regretted it because you're feeling a ton of emotions simultaneously. You're feeling like betrayed. You got kicked out of your house. So now it's not you're sleeping with the other people. It's like she left you. So you're broken up with, you were betrayed by your wife and your sister. And yeah, it's gross as fuck that you were jorking to them, but you didn't know. So I wouldn't feel bad about it on too deep of a level because you didn't know. I regretted my jorks. They lived together for 2 weeks. My sister left her because of the rift it started within our family. Turns out my sister pursued this even before I won't say the name. Blur. Okay, if you editor, if you put the name in, put this on screen, blur out the names. The names need to be blurred out. We're not putting the names in. Because Blank and I opened up our relationship, she had ruined not one or two, but 3 families in the wake of this. Hold on. My wife's family disowned her. My marriage is over. We divorced, and my mom is absolutely furious and disgusted with her since it came out. I asked my wife why she allowed this to happen. She said the incestuous part of the whole experience turned her on, and she masturbated the fact that she slept with both of us. Holy shit, dude. That's fucking, like, who should I be mad at and why? Now I regret every single moment I shared with a perv like her. Like, you can't, here's the thing. People are pervs, but you can't be, don't put this on pervs. This isn't perv's fault. This is her fault. You can meet a perv and you're both pervs and you perv up together and you have a good perv time and your perv stuff. But your wife, ex-wife, had some seriously deep-rooted issues that she needs to work through, because that is some fucked up shit. Also, your sisters, you don't really talk about your sister being a piece of shit in this, but your sister's also a piece of shit in this. I don't know how old you all were when this happened, because the younger you are, the more irresponsible you are, and the less you think of the greater ramifications of things that can happen when you do something like this. But she's a piece of shit too. Yeah, because you've kind of disrupted all these different family dynamics. Who should you be mad at? Well, you should be mad at her, your ex-wife, and your little sister for engaging in this stuff. And what everyone needs to think about and like pull back on, one of my buddies puts this in a good light where he says, like, as horny as we all are, the like search for like your horny gratification can't overcome your like stability in life. And this is coming from a horny guy, dude. I'm a horny person, man. But if you're, that's like some people cheat and they do these things and they rip up their whole life for the moment of gratification. It is drugs at the end of the day when you're kind of diving into it. You're getting super horny. Like, I've always been horny responsibly. Like, I've always been horny in ways like, here's a classic responsible horny chain move. Prior to me dating someone seriously, if I was out on the road, I would, and some girl messaged me and she was like, hey, like, I think you're super hot, and she wants to fuck. I would be like, hey, do you want to come to the hotel room? And if she was like, no, come meet me for drinks, I would say no, because I want a good night's sleep. I like the good night's sleep. Either you come to the hotel room, we fuck, and then I get a good night's sleep, or you don't come and I get a good night's sleep. There's no third option where I meet you, we have drinks for a few hours, then you come back, then we fuck, then I get a bad night's sleep. Bad night's sleep is never the result. So you, like, this chick ripping up 3 family dynamics and ruining like her own family dynamics in multiple ways because of, so she could masturbate. Come on. And these are all thoughts inside your head. You can manipulate your thoughts in specific ways to either satisfy your horny or to change your urges. Like, there's like, you can change the fucking neuroplasticity in your head. Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, just fucking like how high are you valuing the horny, dude? Like, when I talk about the open relationships and stuff, I'm like, do what's comfortable for you guys. Don't do what goes against your own. Like, if you're in a relationship, dude or chick, with someone, and they want to open a relationship and you don't, and you're not okay with it, and they go, oh, and you do it anyways. Well, yeah, you're destined to fail, dude. It's not against the open relationship. It's going against what you want to do. You got to do what you want to do. You want to go to a sex club with your partner and you're comfortable with that, then that's good. But if you're not, and then you do it, then yeah, then you're having a bad time. And this your ex-wife, I mean, I don't know what was going on between the two of you. I don't know if there was red flags or anything about this, but and it also crumbled in 2 weeks. That's one of the craziest parts is she threw away her marriage with you, her relationships with 3 groups of people, with you, with her family, and your family, for a 2-week fling with your little sister. Like, that's not even that much nutting. Because I know that they probably hit critical peak after about 3 days of like fucking each other. And then it got kind of boring. And then they were like, oh my God, what did I do? It's like having a Coke binge and then coming out of it and being like, holy fuck, we really fucked all this shit up. So yeah, sucks to suck, I guess. Poor chick. I mean, not poor chick, poor you, dude. But in the end, kind of, it doesn't say anything in here about kids. So I guess it would be best that this happened prior to you having kids. I guess in future situations, you said a perv like her. So I'm wondering how much there was a chick I dated for a while where our entire relationship was just hinged on sex. Like we never laughed together. We never really had a good conversation together. We never enjoyed the same media together. Like there was nothing that tied us together other than sex. And you might have been, I don't know exactly, but you call her a perv and the perv was a part of her that you liked. If that is a hooking factor that you build an entire relationship off of, it's not a foundation, dude. Perv and horniness is a topping to a relationship. So your foundation needs to be like, we like to spend time together. We have like I can bring her around my family and friends and she fits in. We like each other's smells and we can live in each other's space and we don't annoy each other. And that we have similar forms of like communication and we don't make each other insecure about how we act. Like those are how you build the foundations of a relationship. And then horny is a nice dressing. It's a really good dressing. When you have matching horny, you put that on top of it. It's like apple pie is the foundation, and then the ice cream is the horny. Ice cream is a fucking great addition to apple pie, but you can't build a foundation on ice cream. It's too melty. It falls apart. Apple pie, much more solid. Maybe this isn't the greatest analogy because apple pie is also a little crumbly, but you get where I'm going with this. You throw horny on top after. And if you can get all the pieces in a nice little pyramid, now we're in a different analogy, it works great. Okay, we're going to do one more write-in because we're already kind of fucking maxing out here. Okay. Which one do I want? Oh, yeah, I actually really like this one. What food smells the same sneaking in as it does going out? Mine is McDonald's chips. So this is an English write-in. Jorge, do you agree? When you eat McDonald's fries, don't you have like the fries smelling poop?
Yeah, for the next like at least day.
Yeah, dude, totally, man. Okay, I had a friend in elementary school who I always thought he would fart around me a lot, and I was like, his farts smell a certain way, and I was like, oh, he had these very specific smelling farts because he would fart around me so often. He thought it was such a good gag. And then when I got older, and my parents wouldn't get me McDonald's a lot, but when I got older and I started getting McDonald's on my own, I started working at McDonald's in like a high school, and I would fart. I was like, this smells like my elementary school friends' farts. It's the McDonald's scented farts. It works its way through. And maybe this is just a McDonald's specific thing. There are some things like I got, do you know Momos? You know what Momos are? There's a really good place called Himalayan Cafe in New York. It's one of my favorite spots in the whole city. It's honestly a sleeper. If you look at it from the outside, it doesn't look like a great spot, but it's so fucking good, dude. Himalayan Cafe is a Tibetan restaurant. It's Nepalesian or Tibetan. I can't remember. Nepal, Tibet. It's one of those things. But it's called Himalayan Cafe. It's so good. And momos are basically their version of dumplings. And I would say, I'm putting this on the table, against fucking dumplings, against pot stickers, against pierogies, against gyoza, against all of them. I would say momos are the greatest version of dumpling. The greatest. Better than ravioli. The greatest version of dumpling is a momo. And they put this little, because it's kind of like, they got kind of the dough around it. It has like the chewiness of a pierogi, but the inside, the beef and the or chicken or whatever you get on the inside, the way they flavor it has like more Indian kind of spices in it. It's a good crossover, and then they get like a hot spicy sauce, and they're kind of like juicy on the inside, like a soup dumpling almost. They're very good. But I ate those the other night, and then when I took a shit, I was like, that's momo. That is momo. So I think Indian cuisine also goes through you in a way where you can smell the Indian cuisine on the other side. It's just powerful spices, powerful scents. And of course, the chemicals that are in a McDonald's meal are also powerful. Where like the Indian and like Southeast Asian, that cuisine is powerful in a different way. You're using a lot of spices, a lot of flavors that are really sharp on the tongue, the spiciness. And even if you don't smell it, sometimes you can feel it when it comes out the other end. You eat a really spicy food. Like sometimes I love a habanero hot sauce on a burrito. Holy shit, habanero is too hot for me. A Scotch bonnet, too hot for me. I know it's too hot, but I love the taste of it. So I'll eat it, and as I eat, I go like, and it burns my mouth and my insides, and then I shit the next day brutally. It doesn't smell like I can't identify the scent of habanero, but I can identify the feeling. So sometimes what you eat when it comes out the backside isn't always a scent-based connection. Sometimes it is a feeling-based connection. And the feeling is bad. It's hot. Your butthole it's not equipped for spice. Not equipped for spice, guys. Anyways, guys, that's been Dark Holes with Chadarina. Thank you guys so much for coming through. We're going to go on to the Patreon app right now. So if you guys want more content like this, subscribe on Patreon. $5 a month gets you an extra ep. It gets you ad-free episodes, gets you write-in ability, and access to the Discord. Love you.